Tickets at Universal Orlando have gotten a major upgrade in 2026.
4 parks, one whole new Universal experience. But picking the right ticket for you is more complicated now than ever.
There is a lot to determine.
So here's our insight when picking tickets that work best for you when going to Universal in 2026.
There are really 3 big decisions that you are going to have to make before deciding what ticket is right for you.
Do you want to visit the parks for more than 2 days? Number 2, do you want to visit Epic Universe? And number 3, do you plan on coming back anytime in the next 12 months?
These 3 pieces of information are vital. I want to stress vital to picking the ticket that is right for you when planning the best vacation possible.
Knowing the answers to those 3 questions help you decide if A, you need an annual pass, or B, if you're not getting an annual pass, what type of daytime ticket is best for you.
So let's break it down. First, what is the difference between an annual pass and the regular daytime ticket? First, a day ticket. A day ticket is like a 1-day pass. We do use this as kind of a catch-all term for whether you're going for 1 day all the way up to kind of those 5-day, multi-day tickets.
For these tickets, you can go to the park for a limited number of days that you select. When your day or days are done, your ticket's done. And 3, when you've used up all those tickets and you decide inevitably you want to go back, you have to buy more tickets.
An annual pass, on the other hand, is really like Santa's Christmas gift that allows you to go to the parks for the next 12 months.
For an annual pass, you can go to the legacy parks again and again for that full 12-month window. There are some blockout dates that do apply, but for the most part, you're set to go.
That 12 month starts the first day that you scan into those parks. That is when your 12 months starts. And once you're there, that clock starts ticking.
Additionally, depending on the type of annual pass you get, there are some additional discounts, like discounts on food, discounts on merch, discounts on hotels, and discounts on parking.
Some of these perks can save you a ton of money, and we're not going to cover them in detail quite yet. That will be coming on a little later in the video, but man, we have saved a lot of money with some of these perks.
I like to buy lots of stuff. To make it easy, you can think of it this way. Daytime tickets, I'm going today, or within a span of days. Yeah. Annual passes, I'm going all year long, baby.
Or I'm going multiple times throughout that 12 months.
Yes. Let's dive into day tickets because those are the ones that have gotten the major upgrade this year, and it's really changed the game. So we'll talk a little bit about each of the types of day tickets that you can pick for your trip because wow, here you go, Ben, take the easy one off the bat.
First, single day tickets. Good for 1 day
and one day
only. Now you are going to have to decide, do you want to visit Universal Studios? Do you want to visit Islands of Adventure? Do you want to visit both Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure? Do you want to visit Epic Universe or do you want to visit Volcano Bay? Whew.
Lots of choices.
Lots of choices. But honestly, relatively simple because you either have park to park with Islands or Studios, or I just want to visit one of those parks on that day.
A single day ticket for an adult starts at $80 for Volcano Bay and up to $179 for a park to park option at Studios and Islands.
Now pricing for each of these tickets will depend on the season, demand, and all those other algorithm variables that Universal likes to throw into their pricing system.
Don't call us out in the comments when you go online and say, it doesn't say $179.
When we were doing our research for this, it was like Epic Universe tickets start at $139. I think I found 4 days
in September
out of the entire year that it was $139.
But they start at.
They do. I'm not a big fan of the single day tickets.
Really?
Even if it's a park to park ticket between Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. There is just so much to take in just at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. I think you need to dedicate multiple days to exploring those parks.
That being said, we've purchased single day tickets before for our family, for your parents, my brother and sister-in-law, the kids. Like, we only had like 3 days to pack in doing this and doing that and doing the other thing. And we only had 1 day to go to Universal.
Now I'll asterisk that by asking you, and then what happened?
And then eventually we got annual passes for our parents.
And eventually they came
back.
back.
But for that 1 day, it made a lot of sense for us. It was a test run. We were dipping our toe in the water, checking things out, seeing how we felt. And guess what? They loved it.
So if you're visiting Disney, SeaWorld, making sort of like Universal is just one day, this is certainly the easiest and cheapest option if you are only spending one day at Universal Orlando.
But if you are indecisive like me, you might need multiple days. Let's talk about 2-day park tickets.
2-day tickets are perfect if you want a taste of the parks. It allows you to explore a little more, take in some details, ensure that you hopefully have the best weather that you can, navigate those crowds a little more, and have a little more leisurely day.
For 2-day ticket options, you can decide if you want to spend a day at Islands, if you want to spend a day at Studios, if you want to bounce between and mix and match, or if you want a dedicated day to Epic. Be aware for these 2-day park tickets that when you add Epic into the mix, you do have to pick the specific day you're visiting Epic Universe.
These 2-day tickets do start at $121.50 per day. And again, I want to stress, start at.
If it were me, I want the option of 3 parks. I want to do Epic, I want to do Studios, I want to do Islands, and I want to be able to dabble between them for my days.
I think again, you have to really decide how many days you want to spend at each of these parks. I think 2 days, if you spent 1 day at Islands, 1 day at Studios, okay, that makes sense. I can get behind that. As soon as you start throwing Epic Universe into the mix on a 2-day ticket, I'm like, I'm out. You need more days.
Now all of a sudden I need 2 days at Epic alone.
Or at least a day at Epic Universe alone. But with what we've seen for some of them wait times on some days, you're gonna want multiple days.
Or even if you're not going to Epic, having the ability to do park to park. Obviously
nice.
Now that price goes up, but the flexibility is fantastic.
But you even get more flexibility if you go with a 3-day option.
For 3-day tickets, you have Epic included in these tickets, which is fantastic. You don't have to make a decision, you just get to show up. Well,
Kind of.
With these 3-day park tickets, you do have to make a few choices. Do you want to visit 1 park per day? Dedicated day to Islands, dedicated day to Studios, dedicated day to Epic.
3 dedicated days to Epic.
Do you want to be able to bounce freely between all 3 of those parks? Or maybe you're feeling a little spicy and in those 3 days you want to do all 3 parks plus a little bit of water park action at Volcano Bay.
This 3-day option is really where you get a lot of enhanced flexibility, especially as it pertains to Epic Universe. Like I said, if you want to spend all 3 days at Epic, go for it. If you want to bounce between parks, go for it. If you have any inkling at spending time at Volcano Bay, go for it, especially in 2026, because Volcano Bay will be in an extended closure starting in October.
So don't book the Volcano Bay one.
After October, yeah, don't do that.
They'll probably get rid of that one, but still, good to be aware.
Pricing will start at $123 per day if you go with the single park per day option. You might be okay with doing a single park per day with a 3-day. Like you're gonna spend all day at Epic, you're gonna spend all day at Studios, you're gonna spend all day at Islands. It's actually not a bad option. Unless you wanna ride the Hogwarts Express.
Here's the thing about the 3-day ticket. If you and I were traveling, like back in the day when we lived in Washington, and we're coming over here and we had 3 days.
True.
I think I would have a really hard time.
Of course, you want the flexibility. You want flexibility.
No. We would probably debate, do we want Volcano Bay? Do we not? Are we gonna go? Are we not?
Oh, for sure. If we were coming down, we would at the minimum get the park to park.
Yeah, for the 3-day ticket.
For sure.
Just, again, being able to hop between, specifically, like, we spend a lot of time bouncing even just between Islands and Studios. Yeah. But we would be like, do we want to go? Do you add Volcano Bay in? Do we have time? If you are a water park junkie, add it in. If you're not, I think you and I would end up foregoing the Volcano Bay option solely because 3 days does fly by pretty quick.
That is a jam-packed day to try and include Volcano Bay into that mix.
Unless you just dedicate
dedicate the day to it. Like
you're like, I'm not going to Islands today. I'm just doing Volcano Bay. Like you don't have to, but if you wanted to get your fix, it'd be really hard to do all 4 parks in 3 days.
Which is the reason there's 4 and 5-day options.
Ooh, gotta love the flexibility.
The only big change with the 4 and 5-day options is you get increased flexibility.
You can go to Epic, you can go to Islands, you can go to Studios, and with the 4 and 5-day options, the big decision for you to make is, do you want to do Volcano Bay?
You have the freedom to hop between all parks on all those days and really just enjoy the time that you have at Universal.
Maybe you've been to Universal before and you're like, I've done Islands and Studios. We're taking this trip and I really want to experience Epic, while also dabbling over in our legacy parks because they're the OGs. This 4 and 5 day option is fantastic, so you can get as much of the experience of Epic during your time as you want and still have the opportunity to go to Islands and Studios. Because a lot of people go to Epic, they're like, how much time do I need?
It's true.
Do I need a whole day? Do I need 2 days? I didn't get Express, how do I get everything done? And if you have that dedicated 4 to 5 days, now you have the opportunity to do it all. You really do.
Particularly given that there is some risk as it pertains to weather, crowds, downtime, having multiple days at Epic Universe, and still having some days left over to be able to explore Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, and Volcano Bay if you want to. That 4-day option is quite appealing, and then one that I think we would highly consider if we were traveling down.
It's like Universal knew what they were doing when they're adding a 4th theme park.
Yep.
And we're like, we're gonna make this a full week experience.
Pricing for the 4-day ticket starts at $114.25 per day, and the 5-day option starts at $96.80 per day.
So this is the time when you're debating these 4-day, 5-day options to really ask yourself, are you gonna fall in love with Universal? And do you plan on coming back in the next 12 months? Because if you do, you're going to want to do a little bit more mathing and debate on an annual pass.
There are 4 options available for annual passes. You have a seasonal pass, power pass, preferred pass, and premier pass.
You might have heard of the Military Freedom Pass, which we will not be covering in this video, but if you want to learn all about that, check out this other video afterwards.
These seasonal passes will get you into Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. Volcano Bay is not included in any of the annual passes this year due to that extended closure starting in October.
So if you want to go to Volcano Bay this year, your answer's solved, you're going to get a daytime ticket.
Also, Epic Universe is not currently included in the annual passes.
Yeah, about that. Problematic
for sure.
Problematic. There are discounts on Epic Universe tickets when you have an annual pass, but you're going to be getting single day tickets typically, and so
those add up.
They add up. Universal
knows what they're doing.
Can you please give us an annual pass with Epic?
Soon?
Sometime?
The seasonal pass is going to be $425. The power pass, $475. The preferred pass, $630. And the Granddaddy Premier Pass is going to be $905. Now there are Florida resident discounts, so if you're a local living in the Florida area, you do get a sizable discount on these annual passes.
And I'm sure for those of you who aren't Florida residents and you're debating on an annual pass, hearing that $900 price point makes you go, oh my gosh. Well, all of these passes do come with flex pay options. So for people that need to pay over time to be able to afford an annual pass, they do accommodate. We covered the rates of what single day tickets or multiple day tickets look like. And if you're trying to do that every single time, well, I don't want to pay that much money all the time when I come back. I'd rather have it covered ahead of time.
It adds up, and then not to mention some of the discounts you get with an annual pass, like which we'll get to in detail here in just a second. Like if you're coming back and forth, an annual pass really starts to make sense.
In fact, this Christmas, we even bought our parents, both of them, both sets.
That's both sets of parents.
Annual passes because they loved visiting Universal so much. And I think they like visiting us too, that when they come to visit, we can go to the parks together and we don't even have to decide, like, do we want to buy a ticket? Do we not? How often do we want to go? Having to make those decisions of, do we buy a single day, 2-day ticket, what have you, throw it out the window. Like the biggest question for us now is, do we want to go to Epic? Between the seasonal and the power pass, one of the biggest differences is that the seasonal pass, you can't visit in the month of July versus the power pass you can. That being said, it's hot in July. Some people are probably okay with that.
So if you have flexibility in your schedule and can dodge some of those busier times at Universal, these seasonal or power passes make a lot of sense.
Spring break, Thanksgiving,
Christmas
time,
summertime.
Times to avoid, but if you're able to have that flexibility, those passes are great. Now, if you want to be bougie like Benjamin over here, the Premier Pass does provide you Express Pass after 4 p.m. at the Legacy Parks.
It is handy. I will honestly say, as frequently as we go to the parks, like, I don't use it a heck of a lot.
You also have a giant camera on you.
I also have a giant camera, which does it. But at the same point, Preferred or the Premier Pass, they really start to make sense for those Florida people.
Or, you know, locally.
Local, can start driving in, can visit the parks more frequently. With the Premier Pass, you get free valet and you get free Prime during Halloween Horror Nights. With the Preferred Pass, you get free Prime. You still have to pay for valet, but
50% off.
But it is still awesome when you're considering that parking is paid for. Parking is one of those expenses you don't think about, but can add up so fast during a Universal vacation.
It kind of makes sense that your Preferred and your Premier parking do typically resonate with people who are more local to the area versus the Power and Seasonal, which don't include parking, typically resonate with people that are coming from outside, because typically those people traveling in are staying on site at a hotel anyway. Which leads us to, you get hotel discounts for all 4 of these passes.
Which is awesome, because those hotels, particularly with the opening of Epic Universe, they've gotten pricey, and any discount that you can get, that's a win.
Speaking of Epic Universe, is with these passes, we already mentioned it, but you do get discounts on Epic Universe single day tickets. Those tickets typically save you about 15%. People have asked us a number of times, like, what's the price of the annual pass Epic daytime tickets? It sounds so complicated, but how much of a discount do you get off of Epic tickets? And it's typically around 15%. Now, those rates of what they start at for single day Epic tickets, as we've talked about, is a range. But typically you can expect about 15% off.
The only annual pass that has early park admission for every single day is the Premier Pass. The Preferred Pass does have EPA, but there are blockout dates associated, and then the Power and the Seasonal Pass do not offer access. However, like we already mentioned, those annual passes are usually for like the out-of-state people, so they're likely staying on site anyway, and will get that perk. And finally, an exciting thing is that for this foreseeable future, there's gonna be a pass holder dedicated entrance. And so if you're going for early park admission, it kind of gets you a leg in the door. You get in before the crowd's going, so you can make your way back to Hagrid's.
That is pretty nice.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
We already mentioned it, but I think it bears repeating. Doing a little bit of research, a little bit of math. Does everyone in your family need the same ticket, or can you save money by changing the tickets? Like I said, what works for us is I get a Premier Pass and she gets a Military Freedom Pass. The reason we do that is I get discounts on merch. I get free parking. I get discounts on hotels when we want to do a staycation, and then she gets a cheap option.
I was gonna say, and I use his discount.
Yeah, and she gets to use mine. So it makes a lot of sense. Do you need 2 Premier Passes in the family? Depending on your situation, maybe. Do you want EPA, things like that? Like, things to consider.
I really want Express Pass after 4.
Right, it can vary depending on what your wants and needs are based off your situation. So really, what ticket's right for me?
Yeah, that really is the question of this entire video, isn't it?
And the answer is, we don't know.
No.
It's hard to determine based off of offering a broad stroke recommendation. Like, it's just kind of irresponsible to do so. It is going to really depend on what your wants, what your needs, and what your situations are.
Do you want to visit Epic? Are you coming from afar? Do you have a family coming with you? Do they like going to water parks? How many days can you afford to be here? Do you have a baller budget? Do you want to save money? Do you plan on doing a bunch of crazy stuff outside of the parks? Like, we want to make sure that whatever ticket option works best for you, works best for you.
And so if you have any questions, if you want to walk through some of the options that you have available, feel free to shoot us a message, and that we can help you based off your situation, your wants, and your needs.
These are the ticketing options in 2026, the starting rate. If you got anything out of this video, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. And stay tuned for more Universal content.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.